up, everybody? Welcome to Legacy TV and welcome to the Convo podcast. And you guys know I like to bring you guys the best. And today I've been blessed again by the martial arts community. You know, I'm so thankful to be a part of it. And we got a legend today. We got not only a legend, but we got a legend and a future legend in the house today, his son, which is great for me because me and my son trained together. And for all you dads out there, this would be a cool episode for you guys to tune into. So without me saying all the accolades, because it's too many to state, but I am going to tell you he's the reigning WBC champion of Muay Thai right now. So I'll say that accolade. We got Jermaine Soto and Jermaine Soto Jr. in the house. What's up, guys? Welcome.
How you doing?
Welcome, guys. Thank you guys
so much
here.
for having us, brother. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Don't worry about that.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, so before we get started, don't stress on that. We got it. So tell everybody at home, you know, all the accolades, because you're not just the WBC Muay Thai champion.
Yeah, that is correct. It's funny you say that. When I think about this, I when they talk about greatest American fighters, I don't know why I don't get brought up more often, because
you are one of them.
I've in every sport I've competed in, I've won a title, championship, not a trophy, but like a real defended title.
A world title.
World title. I mean, started off when I was a kid. And I think I won my first national title when I was 15 years old.
15 years old?
15. In Taekwondo.
Taekwondo champion.
And then I went on and I played silver at Pan Am's. I fought in U.S. Open. You know, I went all over the world, you know, competing in that.
So several time Taekwondo champion.
Probably like 30.
30
Probably
times.
like 30. Jed, I can't tell you because, man, I compete all the time. And then I switched off and I started doing some sport karate, became a national champion in that. And then I went to kickboxing and became a champion. Actually, I won a ISK tournament championship a few years back in the 154 division. And then we went on and we got the WBC national title at 147. And then we went on and got the the WCK IKKC world title that I've defended 3 times at 147. And then also went on over to the WKL, the World Kickboxing League, and went up and won a world championship kickboxing title for the 150. It was the 153 division.
Y'all get it? A whole lot of championships. I'm talking about in various martial arts. This is a champion through and through. When you say the word champion and you bring it up, especially American champion, this is one of them and needs to be recognized for it. All these championships doesn't get talked about enough. And your son is also.
My son, actually, I'm gonna let him say it himself.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Junior Soto. What? You're the champion of the WCK.
The WCK Muay Thai promotion.
What weight class?
I won it at around 115.
115.
But since I'm a kid, I'm growing, you know. So I'm walking around maybe like 140. But hopefully I could defend this belt maybe like 132.
132. That's right.
Yeah.
So you guys see, we got some real champions in here today. And, he wanted to give you a little bit of history as I asked him to let you guys know that it's a lot of championships. It's not just what you see here in front of you at the table, but there's a lot more than that. But, let's take it back, bro. Let's there's a lot, people probably don't know about you. And, I want to know more about you as well, because it doesn't just start with being a champion. There's a beginning to a champion. There's a road that leads to becoming a champion. And that's one of the toughest, loneliest roads that you could ever walk.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So tell me, where'd you grow up at? Where were you like born and raised?
I'm a Valley boy from the San Fernando Valley. It's 818. I guess now it might be, what do they have, a 747?
It's 818. Let's just keep it 818. Yeah, because everybody knows the 818. That's right.
So I mean, I'm from the Valley. I went from like
You grew up there with your mom and your dad?
My dad wasn't in the picture. My biological father, it was just me and my mother and my 3 older sisters. And
just you and 3 sisters?
Yeah,
no brothers?
No.
Oh, Lord.
No. So that's the reason why they put me in martial arts, because I'm the youngest.
And they were picking on you.
Yeah.
Bro, isn't that...
No.
Mackenzie and Layla, see? My son, this is exactly what's happening to him right now at our house. But they kind of slowed down. But his whole childhood, that's all they did was pick on him.
He's the youngest? He's the youngest? Yeah. Okay, now see, now I pick on them, you know? So, but they used to hold me down, tickle me and stuff. But no, it wasn't just that. It was, you know, I'm you know, from a different time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm much older than people always say, oh my gosh, you look so young. You look so young. But I just say, right now, I just say I'm in my 40s.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Hey, we make 40s look good, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
40's the new 30.
You know that real talk.
Right,
I mean, I tell people, like, look at us, you know? Like, it doesn't get no better than that.
yeah, it is the truth. But you know, the youngest, only boy, I was kind of alone, so they put me in martial arts. My mother put me in martial arts. And I was good.
You were good right away.
Good.
Flexible?
I was young. I was like 8.
But
we're in the hood.
Oh, yeah? Well, you guys were in a gang neighborhood?
We're in the hood. So our gym was crazy that I have my gym. It's in Arleta, which is next door to Pacoima. So my gym was in Pacoima.
Pacoima Pyrus?
Well, I don't know if they were gangbanging
at the gym, but I have a friend that's from Pacoima, actually.
But they had you know, they had Pacoima Pyrus, right down there. You know, the projects right down there. It gets
down over there.
Yeah, it gets down. And you had back then the gangs were a little bit different, you know.
Yes.
There was a lot of black people there.
Yes.
Now it's predominantly all a Salvadorian Mexican area.
Right.
You know, but back then it was a lot of brothers over there, you know, and it was a lot of Hispanics there, and I'm half. My mother is an African American woman, my father's a Hispanic man. So you know, I play both sides of the spectrum. But I was back to what I was saying, I was kind of lonely, so and didn't want to get picked on, you know?
Yeah.
So my mom was like, look, if it does happen, we got to put him in something so where he can defend himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And from there,
as I tell people nowadays, every human being should know how to defend themselves a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? How can you go through life and never know how to defend yourself if you're put in a situation, or even if you see somebody put in a situation, you want to help them, and you don't know no martial arts, what are you going to do? Just run away? Yeah, it's crazy, but that's just my opinion. You know, no offense to anybody that doesn't, but I would rather be prepared for any situation than not be prepared for little situations.
Well, we got to prepare for the zombie apocalypse anyway, just in case. You know?
Yeah.
We got to learn how to defend ourselves.
You know?
That's important. We're getting lost. People are getting lost.
So you got so you started with Taekwondo.
I started with Taekwondo.
And you were, right off the bat, you were good. And you were probably doing like all the kicks and stuff. Because I remember I loved Taekwondo.
Yeah.
I was at a school, though, where they didn't spar. And I wanted to spar so bad. And the one time I sparred, there was this one kid that was the coach's student that had been there longer. And I was kicking him. Bop, right in the side. And then we end up like, it was like the kickboxing movie where, you know, where they just keep kicking each other in the ribs and they lift the arm over there. Yeah. It was like that. We were kids though, right? But we just kept cracking each other. Then the kid gets hurt. So then the dude gets mad at me, right? This guy's a higher belt. So then he tells my mom that I'm acting up in class. He tells me to come. Then he brings 2 of his black belts to spar with me. And I'm by myself. I'm like a little kid. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyways, the black belt, the first one comes up and he like lazily does like an axe kick and he puts it like on top of my shoulder. I didn't know what the hell I was doing at the time, but I grabbed the leg and I tripped his ass and he landed on his head. And the guy got real pissed off. He's like, go sit down. That was it. That was the last of my Taekwondo.
Yeah.
But I wanted to. I loved it.
I love Taekwondo. And you know what? For kids, I think it's the best. I think it's the best. It's an easy transition. You learn the forms. It has a perfect base. You can, man.
Yeah, the kicks for sure. And then just discipline and all
around. It's more than just kicking and punching.
Yes.
You can teach any monkey to kick and punch.
Obedience, all the little. There's a lot of good parts of martial. I always tell people, as long as it's a good teacher, there's a lot of good things from every martial art that you can get.
Yeah.
There
definitely.
is bad teachers in every martial art, but there's also a lot of good teachers in every martial art.
Oh yeah.
So for me, maybe my experience wasn't the best, but I know a lot of people that have started with Taekwondo, and that was one of their foundations, and they used it very well in MMA as well.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So you started doing Taekwondo, and how long does that go on for?
Oh man, from like 8 on and off. I tried to get to the Olympics.
In Taekwondo.
So I was competing in other styles and other organizations like NASCA, IBL, like it was IBL or something. It's just local. Anything.
And you were doing good in school and everything?
Yeah, I was doing good.
So you were a good kid. I was
a good kid.
You were staying out of trouble. You were in martial arts. You were competing all the time in Taekwondo. So you didn't have time to waste and do. That's perfect.
I went to school. I went
martial arts. Yeah, there you go.
Like every day, that was like my life. But I did it. I want to say I competed. Let me say, because I didn't stop. I competed in Taekwondo from like 13 to about 21, maybe 22, I think.
Wow.
When I didn't make the last Olympic trial.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it was in Vegas. I think it was. I don't remember the name of U.S. Open.
Were you pissed?
Dude, I cried all the way home. I was so upset because I lost to a technicality. It was like it was a draw, and I kind of stalled the clock out because there's like 60, 80 people in my division, because this is a big international tournament. So my first fight, surprisingly, was some guy from Thailand, and I don't know about. I hear now they have a really good training team out there, but back then they weren't that good. The guy was super slow. I was dropping axe kicks on this guy, and I didn't know anything about Muay Thai. But if back then he's probably did Muay Thai, and so he was a bit slow, and I was beating him to the punch. So my next fight, I fought this guy. I don't know where he was from, some Asian country, but the next guy was from the Dominican Republic. And I was like, okay.
This guy's good.
He was okay. He wasn't good.
He wasn't that good.
He was okay, but we're fighting. I probably have maybe 4 or 5 more fights if I get this guy. So we're tied. He hit me earlier in the fight and got a warning. So we're tied at the end. So I stall the clock out. So I'm like, he got a warning, so he should be half a point down. They're gonna award me the fight. They award him the fight. And I'm like, oh no, you gotta give me the rule book. So evidently rules change, whatever. For him being like a higher ranking belt, they gave it to him over me, or it was some stupid thing. And I was like, dude, because I could have really went for it.
Yeah.
And just if he beat me, he would have beat me. But I gave him the fight because I thought I was winning.
You thought you were winning.
Because I said, I got maybe 3, 4 more people. I don't know how many more people I got. Damn. When you're in tournaments like that, the division is so big, and always my division is always super big. They split us up, and then I guess the winners would end up doing some stuff like that.
Damn.
But man, that went fighting like that went on and off for years.
It's such a big deal to you too, probably because like that shit. I mean, excuse my language, but that doesn't come back, to another 4 years. So you're devastated.
Yeah. So that's when I really pursued more kickboxing.
So right away, do you transition out of the Taekwondo gym at that point, or were you already had you already moved out of the Taekwondo gym before you started doing kickboxing?
Well, strange scenario. My mom ends up hurt while I'm growing up. I have you have sponsors. I'm a super athletic kid.
Yeah.
People see me in the gym. So I'm at a gym, actually Billy Blank's gym, old school, a long time ago on Ventura Boulevard. And, I'm just showing up because I just want to fight.
Yeah.
I just want to train. I want to fight. It keeps my mind clear. I got a lot of stuff going on, all this crazy stuff going on, in a young man's life. And a young man with really no guidance, but he's just doing something that he really likes.
Yeah.
So... and you know, God, with God, it worked out for me. But
did you have like, you know, you say that, you know, and that's such a big deal. Like, that's why I feel like father figures are so.
Well, yeah. That's exactly
important.
what I was. That's exactly what I was getting to. I had a guy that was like, "Yo, man, I like this kid.
Yeah.
You are freaking amazing." And I'm like 15 years old. He's like, "Look, man, I'm gonna put some money in your pocket. I'm gonna help train you. I'm gonna make you my fighter. I'm have open this gym and all this stuff." And I'm like, "All right, cool. This is cool." You know, I'm young, like 15, 16 years old. I don't really know what's going on. But he's like, throw you some money and you can fight and you can keep doing this. I'll pay for your. Because back then, when you're young, for the Muay Thai scene, well, now they're starting to adapt to it when you have these like PKBs and stuff. But for us, you got to fit the bill for everything.
Yeah.
If you want to go fight, you got to pay 30. Back then, it was probably like $25 and $35 to do forms and fight. And then wherever you got to go, you got to travel, all that other stuff.
Yeah, you're not making no money.
No,
of course not. But you're doing it to get, you know, to get experience because for the love of it.
Yeah. But if you don't have the money, then you ain't doing it.
Right.
So like, I had a gentleman who like we're like this now, you know. He's the one that kind of mentored me and helped put me in that direction and was like for my fighting. And then later on in life, we just kept in contact, you know, from 15 with my fighting career. And then, you know, the guy turns into like a father figure later on. You know, my son calls him, you know, grandpa. You know, I call him Pops, you know, but the dude was the vice president of Death Row Records.
Oh, yeah.
So I ended up being sponsored by him. And he was kind of like a old school gangster G, you know, which, you know how grandpa is, you know. So he's like, yo, he's with the business. When you want to go, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, we can do it, you know. And
he had that much belief in you at that, from the beginning, huh? Right.
Yeah. And, you know.
And you know what you got to respect is, you know, even though he was like that or whatever, some of those people are the best human beings on earth.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know a lot of my big homies back in the days, I used to want to show off to like impress them. And it got to a point where they were like, sit down and do this music. Like, we quit getting in trouble. What's wrong? This is you're good at this. And when they saw that, they try to nurture it. So that's beautiful. That's a man that whatever, you know, he might have been a gangster, whatever it was, but he
was a businessman.
But yeah, he saw potential in you and he supported your dream.
Yeah, he did.
And so he starts sponsoring you and stuff and paying for you to go compete.
He did all that.
And then you just start tearing it up.
And it was like, then when I got out of high school, it was like, you got to go to college. You know, we got to start doing this. And it's like, damn.
He sent you to college too?
Yeah, he went me. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man. He was like, yo, if you got to do this because you want to get on the collegiate team. You know, you got to go. You have to be a student on the collegiate team. So yeah, man, we had a plan, and unfortunately, it didn't work out exactly. And I didn't finish school because I dropped out to start doing real estate when real estate was popping off. And real estate was popping off, man. That was a good time.
How long did you do real estate for?
Oh man, I did real estate for. I'm about to start doing it again.
There's good money in real estate.
I think I did my real estate thing. When I called the Department of Real Estate, they told me I hadn't. I opened my account in 2006. So I guess that's when I started.
So you started doing real estate, like while you were doing real estate, were you fighting at all? Or you just put it to the side?
That was just me, because from a kid, I was just train, fight. And then I was like, dude, there's an outside world.
So you just stopped completely from training for a while?
Yeah, I stopped training for a minute. But I didn't stop. Let me say, no, I didn't stop training. I stopped competing.
Okay, there you go.
I stopped competing because I always, now that I'm thinking about it, I take a break, maybe 3 months, 6 months, but I never stopped. Always train.
And you need those breaks too, especially when you do martial arts as long as like we have.
Yeah.
It can get kind of, people don't understand sometimes, like, I'll come to the gym and like I don't want to spar. You know, I've been sparring for almost 20 years now. Like I'm good. Like I don't need to spar every day. I used to spar 3 times a day. Now I was like, I don't need. I'll spar a couple times a week. I'm good, y'all. You youngsters can have that.
It's like this kid. Anytime I see him, you ready to train? You want to spar? Get your gear. Want to spar?
Yeah, it's so fun. When you're young, that's one of the funnest parts is the actual fighting, the sparring part. Well, in any martial art, I think in Taekwondo and karate, that's what you want to do. You want to put on the helmet, you want to put on the gloves, and you want to spar.
I go back and forth. Even now, I'm older now, so I can't do all the stuff that I used to do. But I go back, especially with like those extreme like flip twists. Now they don't look as good as they used to. It looks more like gymnastics. But back in the day, man, like the kicks were kicks. Now it's just like twist and flip, and throw a kick, and none of the kicks are really effective. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
What was your transition into kickboxing and Muay Thai like? Was it easy for you with the hands too?
You know what?
And everything, like it just you, because going straight from Taekwondo to that, like it was just an easy transition for you like that.
That's what I think. You know, when I went to K1, they were always saying, "Oh, the Taekwondo guy, the Taekwondo guy, the Taekwondo guy." But I was like, dude, I'm feeling pretty well rounded, and people still say, "Oh, he's a kicker, he's a kicker, he's a kicker." And my last kick, my last fight, I knocked the guy out with an axe kick. Yeah. And in the audience, you know, somebody tagged me. And I could hear them say, "That's not Muay Thai, that's karate." And I was like, man.
Hey, what happened to him? Did he fall? Okay. Done deal.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But no, back to what I was saying. The kicks, man, I'm a kicker. You know, I'm a kicker. So I think of the transition from Muay Thai and the Taekwondo, you know.
It's easy.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to beat a kicker.
So when you started your career, how much do you think, like, because you've had a lot of fights, there's no way we could cover a full Muay Thai career and kickboxing like you have had in, you know, an hour or two. But as you were fighting, did you ever want to transition to MMA? Did you ever think about MMA?
Yeah. It's funny you say that. I did. I did. I went down to San Jose one time, and Frank Shamrock was doing like an in-house like smoker tournament type thing. He had sponsors out there, and I went down there and I won. Me and his mom went down there and I won. And
so you had MMA competition as well.
Yeah. And I did do some jiu-jitsu. I have a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, as a matter of fact.
Oh shit.
But I go back and forth, and I'm not a great fan of it because I don't like to grab and hold. And it's the same thing with judo. I don't like to grab and hold because I'm always sore the next day after that. Man, my forearms, my fingers are all broken. You know, well, I guess I shouldn't make any excuses because I mean, Jean-Jacques Machado doesn't.
Yeah.
And I trained with him for a while too back in the day. So I got to work with some really great, you know, jiu-jitsu practitioners as well as, you know, old school karate guys, you know.
Yeah, so you've done a little bit of all.
Of all of it. Yeah, I even competed in the Kuksul One Hapkido World Championship. Oh, yeah. I was the only American to place too.
No way.
Yeah, dude. And that style of fighting, let me see. I don't know how it is now because if you look at Taekwondo 15 years ago or maybe 20 years ago and you look at it now, you're like, oh, man, it's not the same. So I'm assuming that Kuksul is probably not the same either. But it was Taekwondo sparring, like Taekwondo fighting, but judo and it was like judo and jiu-jitsu mixed in because you could slam and submit, but you just couldn't punch to the face. You could punch to the body and you can kick from the waist up and you can sweep and you can slam.
Almost like kind of like a sambo.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, that That was a crazy tournament, dude. I beat their number one guy my second fight out. Like Korea had their team, you know, they have an A team and a B team. I beat their A guy. You know, it was a rough fight, but after
all on the feet?
Yeah, all he slammed me like 3 times. I'm not gonna front. He slammed me like 3 times, but I was able to like hold on, and when he slammed me, I was able to take him with me. So it wasn't like a super clean slam. It was like, oh, he kind of slipped up on it, you know. But it's crazy because those slams don't count for points.
No,
those slams count. They try to knock you out with those slams.
Yeah.
So after I beat him, I beat some other guy. And then the next time when they have you stand up and bow to face your opponent, like they grabbed the guy that I was fighting and took him away and brought some big ass swole dude. And he didn't have, because this is a traditional martial arts tournament. So mind you, that organization is very strict. This guy didn't even have no motherfucking sleeves on his. And he was big. Yeah, he was all swole and yoked up, and he slammed me. Bam. but he wasn't able to catch me after that. He
and you were able to take the slams.
I took one, but he wasn't able to get me too clean.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, this guy. Because that's what he did. And I seen him in the other ring. I was like, nah, he's not even in my division. Why is he over there? So I think they try to switch it up to get me to, but man, I pulverized that guy. I pulverized that guy.
So you've just had like a plethora of different martial arts experience.
Oh yeah.
Take me to the first title. First major title.
Oh, my first.
Which title was out of your titles here? Was your first major?
My first. Well, the WBC is the first major. First major. You have to put that above
everything else.
I mean,
the WCK is pretty big too, right?
I can't say I put that above everything because the WBC is the most recognizable,
most prestigious. Yeah.
It's the most recognizable. Yes. I love it. I mean, that's you take that belt anywhere. Like, is that real? Is that real? Hold on.
Did you have a lot of fights in the WBC before you fought for the title?
Well, the WBC is the sanctioning body,
right?
So I've had quite a few fights before I got to the title.
Before you fight for the...
But yeah, I actually fought for that belt, dude, 3 times. And I got it on the 3rd time.
The first 2?
The first one, it didn't go my way. I had shut, and actually it was a really crazy story about it, and which is how I got the WCK title. I had a fight with a guy named Mario Navarro in Glory. Like maybe in January 17th, I believe. In the 3rd round, Mario broke my rib.
Gosh.
And after that, I got called like 2 months later, or maybe like 6 weeks later, to fight for the WBC title. And I declined. I was like, I can't take it. My ribs broke. I saw the fight. And I was like, oh no, I'm going out there to get that belt. So I called the promoter, was like, make this fight happen. And I was still a little tender, you know, and it was a very slow start. And he hit my rib, and I froze up. And he cut me, and the ref stopped it from a cut.
Oh,
yeah. And then the second time, believe it or not, I got in a car accident on the way to the fight.
I read this story somewhere.
Somebody hit me and bailed and left.
Hit and run on the way to the fight?
Yeah, because, you know, when they hit me, I was just kind of frozen. I didn't get out the car or anything.
Were you at a light or something?
No, I was going slow. I can't remember if I know I wasn't at a light. I think they hit me while I was maybe stopped in traffic, something like that, and they hit me. And you know, you're getting ready to go to a fight. All these things are going through your mind and stuff. So when he hit me, it kind of put me in shock a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was kind of frozen.
Yeah.
And I still remember the car. It was like a white F-150. And I still remember the car going, like pulling back, going around and leaving. I was like, yeah.
He didn't have insurance at all.
I was just like, man, like, damn. But I can't be upset with him.
So you think that fight was just didn't go your way because you just weren't there mentally?
Well, no. That fight didn't happen. I got a concussion. So
you got really hurt bad.
Yeah.
See, I read the story, but I don't remember the full story. But I remember you got hit on the way. But I thought you fought that night.
No, I showed up to the event.
Oh, okay.
And my coach walked outside and he was like, "Are you gonna fight?" And I was like, I as far to my knowledge as I remember, he was like, Jermaine, when you got out, you were slurring your words. You were asking me, but to my knowledge in my head, all I can remember was like, Coach, what do you think? Should I take the fight? And he was like, nah, that's not what you were saying.
Yeah.
He was like, nah. He said you were asking how many people were in there and you know, he was like, you were asking about the venue. You were like, he was like, and I told you to leave. You need to go to the hospital and get checked. Nah, you're not gonna fight tonight.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my.
Nah. Damn.
And then boom, here goes another shot. I take out a couple guys, and boom, here it is again.
You get the title shot again.
Yeah.
This time we weren't letting nothing happen.
Nah. And this was crazy though.
Stay in a bubble.
No, I almost, dude. Another thing, I was in Puerto Rico training. I was working on my boxing for this fight. And the first day of training, I almost tore my toe off.
Damn.
I had to go to the hospital, and it was bad. If my uncle wasn't the mayor of that town, I would have sued that hospital because that's a bad look for him. But I'm gonna say it now, dude. When I got there, my toe was split like this open. The
John Jones, huh?
Yeah,
it was like hanging off.
It was worse than John Jones. It was my pinky toe, so it was hanging off like this. Yeah, it was ripped, like somebody just took it in. And the damn doctor, she looked at it and she was like, what's going on? Laughing at me and stuff, asked me what I did, and she just took alcohol and just poured it in there like shh. And dude, I was screaming. I told her, I said, look, you need to take that needle, put some morphine on that needle, put it on the wound or something. You should know what to do. And then pour it and clean it out. And then on top of that, dude, they broke like 4 or 5 needles doing the stitches. I had 9 stitches all around here and my toe, 9 on my pinky toe right here in the crease.
Damn.
So, dude, I was pissed. So the rest of the training camp, this was 5 weeks before the fight. So my toe's not going to be healed by then. So I was training sitting down in a chair.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude. I was and then finally
just working the hands and stuff. Man.
And then we start doctoring it up and doing stuff,
standing up little
by little. So like the last maybe week, I was standing and moving a little bit. And when fight time came, I wanted the belt. So I said, dude, I was prepared for my toe to just come off. You know, for real. For real.
That's some gangster there.
And you know, the California State Athletic Commission, they caught me because my toe was cut and I had a little piece of tape around it. And I was like, okay, and not a little piece of tape, I had a Band-Aid around it. And the commission guy was like, yo, Jermaine, what's that on your toe? I was like, a Band-Aid. He was like, take it off, it might cut the fighter. I was like, dude.
Oh man.
And so that was on the way walking to the ring. So I was like, dude, this toe's coming off. This toe's coming off.
Ain't nobody need a toe. I just need that belt right now.
I needed that. But yeah, it worked out. And then, I'm sorry, but the guy, Mario, who broke my rib, me and him, we got to have a rematch. And I got to get him back.
So you won the WBC title, and then was that the rematch, or then you got the WCK title?
No, I got the WCK
in the rematch.
In the rematch.
After that.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, that was That was one of the nastiest.
That's the one I
knockouts I've
seen,
ever
right? That's
seen.
the one that's on YouTube with the spinning kick.
No.
There's a lot of.
This one I stopped him with elbows because everybody was saying this was like before. This is right after the WBC title, and people I think were still like, oh well, he kicks a lot. He's a kicker. I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna get this guy with some Muay Thai, you know, and
slice him up,
exactly.
And diced him.
my last, like honestly, like the last 4 fights, I think I called exactly. I said I'm gonna finish this one with elbows, and I said I'm gonna finish this one with spinning hook kick. I'm gonna finish this one with an axe kick. I'm gonna finish this one with hands. I'm gonna work this one like this. So I still think I'm learning. I'm improving. You know, and I'm passing all this stuff down to this little guy right here now.
What's your plan before I want to get to him too?
Yeah.
What's your plan as far as your fighting career now, Jermaine? Like, you thinking, like, because I mean, let's face it, for, Muay Thai, what else would you like to do? Is there more you want to accomplish?
Hell yeah, I want to accomplish more.
I'm defending this title. I'm defending that title.
You know what? I seen they got a new game in town called Karate Combat.
Oh yeah.
And shit.
Man,
how do I not fit in there?
Yes, you do.
How do I not?
Karate Combat. I love Karate Combat. They got I forget the homeboy's name, the Goat Shed. The owner, number one, I like the Goat Shed. I like the way they train, and then the owner, that dude's the shit. I forget his name. It's Azim or something like that. But yeah, you need to go there.
I think it's cool. I think I should.
Hey, Raymond Daniels was over there.
Raymond's my boy. Raymond actually hit me up and was like, "Yo, they need a last minute replacement on a Tuesday to fight on a Friday." And I was like, man, I think my finger was something was messed up and I hadn't been training. And I was like, oh, dude, I got on the scale. I'm like 168. He's like, you probably be at 145. I was like, man, if I was in shape, it'd be okay. But if I cut this weight right now and go, and you know what? And people say, "Oh, you're a fighter. Fight. You're a fighter. Fight." Hell yeah, I'm a fighter, and I can fight. But I'm a martial artist first. Yes, and you know what? I'm not just gonna be a guy that's fighting just to be. A brain. And I'm an accomplished athlete. I'm an accomplished champion.
Legend.
And I'm not gonna jump over to some other spot and be like, "Oh man, though the WBC champ came over here and got his ass kicked." Like, no. When it doesn't matter what name, you hear that champ is coming over here, you expect violence. You expect
and a big fight.
Yeah, you expect
they gotta give you a
big
fight.
Well, they need to. Yeah. They need to.
Let's make it happen, Karate Combat.
Let's make it happen. I'm waiting. I'm back in training now. So they call me. Call me in March though.
Call me in March. We're gonna make sure Karate Combat get tagged in that.
Oh yeah.
Get him a fight.
Yeah. I
want to see it. And then Raymond Daniels too, man. I'm a big fan of him. If you're a fan of striking, man.
Yeah. That's my dude. I actually, when I was fighting in Glory, I think Glory 53, when Raymond was out here, I think he said he moved. He's in Texas now, I believe.
Is it? Because his gym, I know that world class karate is in off Tustin right here in Orange.
Yeah. I
don't know who runs that there anymore, though.
I'm not sure. I know him and his wife were running it. But I don't know what's going on with that. But it was cool because I got down there and when I was fighting for Glory, I got some good work in with him. A couple other guys.
Man, I would love
Strickland
to
was
see
there.
Spar.
Oh yeah.
If you could be a fly on the wall, just hang out. Like
it's something like a movie. It's something like an action movie, but it's a lot of fun with him. Yeah. Because then we can bring that old sports style karate back.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be so hard style. But we both have a very similar style. Very similar. He's just like 2 weight classes.
He's a big boy.
He's like 2-3 weight classes. So
tell me, like along the road, passing on the knowledge. Your son's born. How old were you when you had your son?
Oh man, like 25.
Okay, so because my eldest is 17. So that around that, close to that age. So when you had him, did you have him full time right away on the mat?
Man, crazy, another crazy story.
Tell me. We want to know.
He was his birthday is tomorrow, February 4th. I had a fight scheduled, I think February 12th, or it was like 8 days after he was born. Literally 8 or 9 days after he was born. So I was kind of training, but not really. I was like looking at his mom like, when are you gonna pop? So I wasn't really training.
I was more at the house.
Yeah, I was more what they call nesting.
Yeah.
That's what I was told, nesting. But so when he was born, I went right in the training camp, a week training camp, and I did like a slight tear of my lateral collateral ligament. And that put me out for a long time. But right when I was able to get back, he was like maybe 9.
What up, everybody? Want to take a quick second out of the podcast just to give a shout out to our sponsor, the best criminal defense attorney I know. The last time I got in trouble, I needed somebody that was going to look into my case and actually fight for me and get me the best deal possible, and he did that. And I'll make sure that he does that for you. Make sure you shout me out if you guys reach out to him. They're the sponsor of the Convo. You know anybody, a family member, or yourself that make a mistake, you want somebody like him on your side. Arash, please let everybody know how they can get a hold of you.
Thank you. Arash Hashemi, 310-448-1529, or HashemiLaw.com, HashemiLaw.com, or just Google hashtag BetterCallHash. Remember that, BetterCallHash. You'll find me on every social media channel all over the internet. 310-448-1529.
You better call Hash.
Months. Maybe 14 months, maybe like 14 months or something. And then that's when the gym.
So you've been in the gym since a baby.
Yeah.
So you had him doing, you didn't have him doing anything else but straight into Muay Thai and kickboxing?
I wasn't working with him.
Smart decision. at the young age.
Grandpa was working with him.
There you go.
You know, so they did their own thing.
That's cool.
You know, so I backed off. He recently, well, not recently, I would work with him on and off, but we used to have to send him to other gym.
Yeah.
He wouldn't listen. He wanted to do his own thing. He was like, no.
You still wanted to train, but you didn't want to listen to them?
I did jiu-jitsu for 4 years.
Oh, you did? Okay, we go.
I did, yes.
So you didn't want to hear nothing. I was just kidding.
No, I didn't.
Did you like jiu-jitsu a lot?
I did. I liked it. It was fun, but what happened was he took me to a fight.
To watch or to compete?
A Muay Thai fight. He took me to watch. And we got invited, and after that it was just like what's it called? Like a mind opener, you know? I didn't think there was like a sport I could compete in like that, you know?
That where you could hit somebody in the face?
Yeah, that I can
kick somebody in his head off.
Yeah, exactly. And I like in that gym was it now that I look back on it, it wasn't the best gym to be at.
That's okay. You know, so a lot of people just do what they can, you know. We don't at the end of the day, like some gyms are, like we said in the beginning, you know, you find your right place. And then when you find your right place, that's where you belong. And that's where you is.
the gym, you know, it's like you said, you know, we just didn't have him in also the right facility.
Right.
You know, so like you said earlier, some of these gyms don't spar.
Right.
You know, and I understand, you know, this is a business.
Right.
You got to make your money. You know,
yeah, but to each
do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. But what bothered me is that I'm not a jiu-jitsu guy. His mom is not actually she's a judo girl, but I don't know if she even did judo at that time. But they would have him, he would sign up for tournaments. And I'm coaching him when we sign up for the tournament through the gym.
At the jiu-jitsu?
That's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool. I shouldn't corner him. I'm running into my buddies because I'm a striker, so I run into MMA dudes, you know, my boys like, hey Ron or Ruben, whoever I run into, hey, can you help my boy? Help him. So is one world championship in particular, is like kids world championship. him and this kid, they tussle and he catches the kid like in a triangle choke. But I don't know the rules. I tell him, pull the kid's head down. But they're kids. So they're not allowed to.
So they disqualified him.
So no, they didn't disqualify him. I'm running. He has this kid. I don't know if it's like 3 minutes. What is it? 3 minutes? 5 minutes? It's like a 5-minute round or a 6-minute round. I don't know what it is. But it happened right in the beginning. The kid is crying, and the ref asked the kid who wants to compete. Yeah. The kid's dad is saying keep going. He just held this kid in this triangle choke for like 4 minutes plus or whatever, and lost and ended up with silver. And I'm like,
what the hell?
The kid was crying, and I understand, but if I would have known more about the rules, I was telling him to pull the head down. Yeah. And then, but this whole thing happened. One of my buddies, Ruben, I used to train with back in the day. He's a jiu-jitsu guy and wrestler, jiu-jitsu guy. And he was there, and I got him, and I was like, Ruben, tell him what to do. And he was like, put your arms around and squeeze the legs, squeeze the legs. And we're yelling that, but by the time that happened, dude, yeah. And I'm like, man.
That's the thing. Like depending on what gym you are at, and if there's a lot of guys competing, that the instructor kind of gets stuck into who he's been there longer.
There wasn't nobody competing but him. It was just him. He was the only one from the gym.
I try to give the dude a reason, like didn't work either.
Trust me, I know all about that. I competed in the tournament circuit. Man, come on. I got like 300 amateur fights. I know the whole thing, and I looked at it too, and I'm like, but you got like 3-4 instructors there.
Yeah, at least
you
one of them should have been there.
You can't send one, or send a student with with some credential to.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't send the parent, and that don't look good as the gym either. You know.
Yeah. So you saw the Muay Thai, and then you're like, I want to try this now.
Yeah, and because he took me. And when
he was probably happy as hell.
I didn't have to pay that other gym no more.
He's like, "What'd you say, son? Come on, let's go. I've been waiting for you to tell me that."
Yeah, because I competed in jiu-jitsu a lot. I competed maybe 30 times. Okay. I competed in Worlds 4 times. Got silver in all 4 times.
It's not easy. Okay.
Yeah, but after I went there, there was one fight in particular. It was these 2 kids. They're about maybe 13, 14, about my age now, and they were fighting. They not really no technique. They were just scrapping.
Yeah.
And that fight just it was like the mind opener. Yeah. It was the mind opener.
And it made you want to do it.
Yeah, because I found out he did it. 'Cause at that time I didn't really know. I didn't really know what he did. I just knew
your dad was a monster.
I just knew he fought.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I think it's as a young kid, sometimes you don't realize what's going on. Like my kids didn't realize, like, I was into MMA and jiu-jitsu. They didn't realize who I was or nothing. And then now when I do seminars and there's like 50, 60 people and everybody's got cameras, they're like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like they get a little bit more like understanding of, and that's okay because you guys don't. As you're growing up, like they're your dad. They're not, they're not the way other people look at them. You look at them as that's my pops. That's dad. But your dad is a legend, and then that's probably really cool to see. You following his footsteps. And what are your goals? You're already a champion in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Are you thinking MMA or are you thinking more long stand up career? Because you've already done jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So
my goal. I'm gonna go to college, and I'm gonna get my law degree. But while I'm in college, I'm still gonna be training, and hopefully, if we don't go to the UFC, we go to one.
There you go.
I want to go to one.
There you go. So you do want to compete in striking and in MMA one day.
Yes.
There you go. And you sound very intelligent. And does he get good grades, Pops?
He gets good grades. He does well. He has his moments sometime, as we all do.
Yeah.
He has his moments where he thinks he's Mr. Cool Guy at school, big man on campus or whatever,
Well, he's the champ.
Yeah,
He's got to flex a little bit.
Yeah,
but what
does.
you got to remember is, I have a student of mine that's young as well. I look at him like a son as well. I look at all my kids, all my students as like my children.
Family.
In a way. Exactly. And, the main thing is, you got to live a good life. Take care of yourself. Above everything, your goals might change, but always be a good person. Do the right thing. Stay out of trouble. Don't make mistakes. And as long as you do that, the rest is going to be good. The bonus, the career, it's something in 5 years time, you could want something completely different than you want now. And that's okay. But, follow your dreams and chase your passions and give it everything you got. And you can be anything you want to be. If you want to be in the UFC, you can be in the UFC. If you want to fight for one, you can do that 100%. It's cool to see. I'm glad you came here to talk about it a little bit as well. And are you going to be fighting soon?
We actually just picked up a fight yesterday.
You did yesterday, both of you?
Yeah.
No,
or just him? When you fight?
I'm waiting for karate combat.
You're gonna make me have to put this out fast. So when you fighting?
I'm fighting March 2nd.
March 2nd. Okay, I'll be able to get it out by then. We'll get it out like right before your fight. I'll probably get it put it out like a couple days before your fight. That'll be perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, bro. Like,
what's the promotion?
Rising Stars.
Rising Stars.
And it's another title fight.
Yeah, we're gonna plug everything. But that's really cool to see. Like, one of the things that's really important for me to see is a bond between a father and a son.
Oh yeah.
It's as I was growing up, me and my dad, we were kind of, he separated from my mom and we didn't have the greatest relationship growing up, but now we do. And, and a lot of the years I held on to a grudge against my dad because he wasn't around, and I felt like I made so many mistakes because I looked to the hood, to the guys in my neighborhood as a father figure, and they were doing the wrong things. So it's really cool that you got a positive role model like your father, to keep you looking towards positive things and martial arts. I believe every child should have martial arts in their life. So even if you don't do it as a career, hopefully you do it as a lifestyle.
Yeah, thank you.
Because it'll be good for you. For
Yeah.
sure. Okay, so
we also brought something for you.
Oh man, you guys, I appreciate you guys.
It's it's a hat, towel, and a t-shirt with our gym logo on it.
Okay, yeah.
That's where we fight out of. That's our gym.
Yeah, we're gonna let's get it to.
But that's for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Thank you guys. You didn't have to. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
So before we close it out, guys, this is number one. We need to bring his name up more. We need to talk about, when you're talking about, the best of the best, especially out here, we got to bring up Jermaine Soto, world champion and one of the best to ever do it. Let's give him the credit he deserves. And Karate Combat, what's up? Get my boy a fight. Let's go. Like, you want to see a show? Let's get him in there. You guys know what you're going to get. So Karate Combat's the goal for now, Jermaine?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for that. I'll do something else. I've been, what's that guy's name, Jay? That hit me up.
Chris Demore?
Yeah, Chase
Demore, my bad.
Yeah, this dude called my mom a hoe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, those are fighting words for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's lucky. I mean, it's a different time, man. It's a different time.
Ready to go.
It's different because, like I said, I'm in my 40s. It's a different time, man. People do stuff like that. Back in the day, you couldn't say anything about somebody's mom, man.
No.
You said something about somebody's mom was the big deal. Now people brush that off like it ain't nothing. Like, you said something about my mom. Let me take a picture of you. You better not say nothing else about me.
Around my time growing up too, like a word that gets thrown around that's crazy is the word bitch.
Yeah.
Like if you call another man a bitch, like in front of in my neighborhood, you better fight. And if you don't fight, like you're gonna get beat up for letting somebody call you a bitch.
Oh yeah, you.
But these kids nowadays, they call each other all kinds of shit. but yeah, I was like, I heard one of these two dudes calling, "Oh, shut up, bitch! Oh, you shut up, bitch!"
Yeah,
we would have already been. It would have already been a fight going on.
Yeah, me and my play cousins, we would have been fighting, and then after we'd have been cool.
Wait, what
we'd
you
have been
say?
like, we'd be like, "What did you say?" The air would have got real thin. Like, you better not say nothing else,
guys. Jermaine Soto is looking for the Karate Combat, and we're fighting on March 2nd for WCK.
Rising Stars.
Rising Stars. And where is this going to be at?
Sir, it's in Sacramento.
Guys, I really appreciate you guys coming down and spending some time. Like this was a great podcast. You know, we got to talk about your career. We got to talk about your son, which I think is amazing. You know, get your kids in martial arts. You know, you see the type of smart, level-headed child he's raising, and he's already a champion. He's doing good in school. He wants to be a lawyer. This is the type of things that martial arts breeds, and it's great to see. Guys, before you go, please, anybody you want to plug, anybody you want to shout out, both of you guys, the floor is yours, the cameras are yours. You know, the shout out the gym. I know you're training at the West Coast Combat Center.
Yeah.
Where's that located at?
Our gym, West Coast Combat Center in Arleta, California. We also have a nonprofit organization. It's Home of the Champions. So what we're really trying to do with that is, you know, help uplift our community, our youth, and work with them. So we're in the progress of making some real big moves with that. And you know, we're training, and hopefully we can continue to fight. I can get me a fight. We've been having a super hard time getting him a fight, dude. It's hard.
It's gonna happen. So you're at the West Coast Combat Center in Arleta, California,
which is formerly Pacoima, I believe. I believe it was Pacoima. Now it's Arleta.
And you're available for group classes and training?
Yeah, group classes.
How can they get a hold of you?
You can follow me at Jermaine_Soto_ or West Coast Combat Center. You type in my name on Google, and you can find a whole list of things about me.
Guys, if you're in that area and you want to learn how to strike, you know, like, what better place to go to train than with him? I know if I was out there and I wanted to strike, you got the man right there. Anything you want to shout out, bro?
He kind of said it all for me.
Okay. Guys, thank you for being here today. It was an honor. I've been blessed. You know, being in martial arts saved my life. You know, and I want to be able to give back, and that's why I started this podcast. And I wanted to bring people and talk about their journeys, and so people could see kind of not only how what you are now, but how you got into it. Because, you know, martial arts for me, it's my lifestyle. I tell people when I pass away one day, you know, I want to be buried in a gi, because that's how much it means to me. You know what I mean? So thank you guys for blessing us with your stories, and hopefully we'll have you back soon to talk about a fight.
And then talk about the fight and his fight with a new belt.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, tell your mama and your daddy. Peace.